Hello everyone, tonight on the program, EcoBank JoyNews Habitat Fair launched in Accra, more as the organizers tout the potential of the event to help address the over 2 million housing units deficit in the country.
Certainly, we can work with you to ensure that even though you are in the informal sector, you can also retire comfortably, having built up the funds you need, having built up your pension, and having had your pension working for you from day one, so that you retire into your own home.
Also coming up, government expected to complete establishment of mobile app to ensure simplified mode of filing taxes in October this year.
The question, however, is how to convert this 86% into actual taxpayers. That is the key question that we have. And this is why we are putting this machinery in place.
Plus, the Ghana Statistical Service set to put out preliminary results of the 2021 population and housing census in September.
Once they approve of the release calendar, we're going to put it out there. But I'm pretty certain that barring whatever challenges, in the month of September, we should be able to put out the preliminary results.
My name is Darryl Kwao. This is Business Live. Thanks for joining us. Details in a moment. In our first story tonight, this year's EcoBank JoyNews Habitat Fair has been launched in Accra today, with organizers touting the potential of the event to help address the over 2 million housing units deficit in the country. Speaking at the launch, Managing Director of EcoBank Ghana Headline Sponsors, Daniel Saki, said it was a significant platform to provide solutions to the housing needs of Ghanaians.
Having provided a platform for estate developers and prospective homeowners to engage for many years, the EcoBank JoyNews Habitat Fair is here again this year. The event by the Multimedia Group and EcoBank Ghana supports efforts by government in finding a lasting solution to Ghana's housing challenges. Speaking at the launch of this year's event in Accra, Managing Director for EcoBank Ghana, Daniel Saki, said customers will be given the best deals to reduce the housing challenge.
Notwithstanding the initial challenges we had, I think working with the Multimedia Group and our partners, and as Israel went through the list of partners, there was one conviction I had, that if you are looking for a solution to your housing problem, all the key stakeholders you have or you need are part of this event and are represented in this building. And that is saying a lot about the solutions that will be available to anybody who is interested in solving the housing equation. When I say that housing equation, I'm not asking for solving some complex equations. But housing is a challenge in Ghana.
He has also been explaining some innovative products the bank will provide to potential homeowners who will be at the fair.
Given that every worker, or most workers, let me qualify it, have access to pensions that they are putting up, we believe that you should not wait until you are retiring before you'll be able to access your pension and acquire a house. Why can't we put our heads together, work with the pension fund trustees, and ensure that your pension that is being built up can start working from you from now?
The 2021 EcoBank JoyNews Habitat Fair is under the theme Home Ownership to Build or to Buy. Chief Operating Officer for the Multimedia Group, Ken Ansah, has assured that expectations of patrons will be met, citing the good track record of the event.
This class of entrepreneurs and businesses who together, collectively, bring on board all the solutions that are needed to solve the housing problem. We at JoyNews and Multimedia are only facilitating and creating the platform for these great solutions to come together, to be presented to you who needs a home, and to get you a one-stop location where you can tap into these various services.
Meanwhile, one of the major sponsors, Cities and Habitats, also used the opportunity to give a snapshot of some uniqueness of their rent-to-own project. Here is project manager Daniel Ohene Edu.
How do we do it? How do we help them? That is where the Cities and Habitats and rent-to-own come in to fill that need.
The main event takes place on the 27th October at the Accra International Conference Center.
Now, government is expected to complete the establishment of a mobile app to ensure a simplified mode of filing taxes in October this year. Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia says this will aggressively increase Ghana's revenue. There's more in the following report.
According to the Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the Revenue Assurance and Compliance Enforcement Initiative is part of government resource mobilization framework to aid in the recovery of the economy. Speaking at the launch of the initiative, Dr. Bawumia said the introduction of the project will be the last line of defense in ensuring the effective mobilization of domestic revenue, noting that digitalization of tax collection and administration is crucial in addressing tax compliance issues in the country.
6% today. And so we've made a major leap forward. The question, however, is how to convert this 86% into actual taxpayers. That is the key question that we have. And this is why we are putting this machinery in place. This is why we are doing this. Thankfully, the Ministry of Finance, under the leadership of Ken Oforiatta, and the Commissioner General of GRA, working with the Economic Management team, have initiated work on a mobile application for the filing of taxes. I'm happy to say that the mobile application for the simplified filing of taxes should be ready by October this year.
The Minister of State in charge of Finance, Charles Edubuayin, said the 30 billion cedis out of the 100 billion cedis expected to be mobilized for the Ghana Cares Obatamba program is to be generated through domestic revenue mobilization.
GRA and RACE will work together to reduce tax non-compliance and revenue leakages, improve the efficiency of tax administration, and improve risk management and fiscal planning. Over time, we expect to capture potential taxpayers in the informal sector who deliberately avoid taxes, improve risk management mechanisms, and influence the design of tax policies.
Also at the launch, Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Reverend Amin Shaddai Owusu-Amoah, said the initiative will improve the effectiveness of taxpayer services and promote voluntary tax compliance.
For us to be effective, there must be enhanced digitalization. There must be cooperation among various parties. We must ensure that both the domestic and the customs front, we are effective and efficient in the collection of taxes.
The Financial Intelligence Center and the Economic and Organized Crime Office, the authority will be able to meet its target of 30 billion Ghana cedis.
Now, 7 government agencies have so far been migrated onto the Ghana card. It is expected that 17 agencies will comply by the end of the year. Chief Executive and founder of Margins Group, the implementing company for the Ghana card, Moses Baden, has disclosed that telecom companies will also be migrated onto the card before the end of the year. It would save Ghana $1.5 billion if all government agencies can be migrated. Let's hear from the Margins Group boss, Moses Baden.
So basically, the organizations themselves have to go through the transition. Today, 5 organizations are transitioning. SNP is almost done. National Insurance is almost done. They have all the data, you know. The banks are on board. They are being onboarded as we speak. The telcos are going to verify the numbers of national ID so that you know that the numbers are who they claim they are. Don't have all those fraud issues. We're still discussing how we're going to do that. The Controller and Accountant General's Department is on board. Passport Office, so that your data goes straight to the passport office. You can't change it midstream. It's on board. And so we have all these institutions currently being onboarded. But under NIS laws, there are 17 mandatory institutions. You know, if you take NIS law as amended, you find that there are 17 mandatory institutions, and then there are LI 2111 as amended in 2016, I believe, or 2017. And all these mandatory institutions are all government institutions who need to give you a service, but they need to identify you. They can do that seamlessly. Today, we have verification platforms built with the NIA, where even if you don't have your card, we can verify you in 300 milliseconds. So you can see the effect of that. I mean, if you, there's an accident, and we don't know if people are there in the mall, we can find out who they are. I mean, the savings are multiple. So to answer your question, because I know you have more questions, now I answered the holistic, right? So
Yes.
you get e-government services, and 17 institutions are mandated to join. 7 of them are joining as we speak. The Vice President has put a deadline for 31st December for all this to happen. But it's not an easy, if you look at the case study of this is the biggest instant issuance project, period, that has been done in the world in real time. And people don't recognize how difficult it is.
When you were speaking, you spoke about how about 95% of identity cards that have been implemented in various countries, projects in various countries haven't worked, either by business models that were used or transitions and all that. What's going to make this a long-lasting one? You've spoken about business model. Is that enough to carry this through?
This is the first national ID project in the world that has been led by an African company. Conceptualized, designed, built, financed by an African company. And because the private sector is co-financing with government, we have an interest to ensure that it's delivered over the 15-year period, you know. And the model that's built has a revenue model that is market-driven. Because if you take banks, for instance, the reason why our credit is high is because there are so many fraudsters who cause bad loans that we can't collect. So those bad loans get piled up on our cost of risk. So interest rate goes up. So you see Bank of Ghana hasn't changed its rate. It's very low. What accounts for the difference between the Bank of Ghana base rate and the bank lending rate? It's risk. But if you know where everybody lives, and you know they are who they are, they can't hide, right? Interest rates should come down. I mean, I can talk for a long time, but the multiplier effect is that without the proper identification, fundamental database, that prevents ghost names, that prevents fraud in SNP system, that prevents fraud in NHI. I mean, forget about that, even the people in the revenue. The amount of money that the need is actually market driven, means that it's a sustainable revenue model that's built on a proper contract, that has proper service level agreements, proper risk arrangements, proper review mechanisms, has the private sector, the public sector working together to ensure that it's sustainable. Do you get me? Because you need to hire the right people to do this kind of work. The right people cost a lot of money. Only the private sector can afford that. You need to make sure that citizens' privacy is protected. Only public people can do that. So that public-private partnership is the best of both worlds. And it's designed right here in Ghana, and we know it will work because both parties are determined that it will work. And I mean, the relatives, they each know the pudding, right? This is the first time that 15.685 million cards have been issued, and more than 80% of them have been issued instantly in an environment like that. I mean, mass registration was April 2019. In 2021, we ended in December 2020, despite COVID. We've done already 15.6 million, what we couldn't do in 10 years, from 2006, when the first national ID was awarded. Huge amount of time. So for me, we crossed a critical point. It's just the renewed interest and the political willpower from government. Private sector, we are managers, we are committed, we don't have a choice, otherwise we have too much invested in it.
Chief Executive of Margins Group, Moses Baden there. So far we are told that 160,000 foreigners have been registered and 15.68 million people onboarded. It is expected that some 500,000 foreigners should have been registered by now. That's a shortfall of the target by more than 60%. Let's move on now to other news. You are watching Business Live. We're taking a short break. Still ahead, the Ghana Statistical Service set to put out preliminary results of the 2021 population and housing census in September.
Once they approve of the release calendar, we're going to put it out there. But I'm pretty certain that barring whatever challenges, in the month of September, we should be able to put out the preliminary results.
And welcome back. This is Business Live. My name is Darryl Kwao. The Ghana Statistical Service is set to put out preliminary results of the 2021 population and housing census in September. The census is expected to review the population of the country as well as structures that would help in taking critical developmental decisions. Speaking at the closing ceremony of a training exercise organized for post-enumerators at Winneba, government statistician Professor Kobnenim asked for cooperation as the 21-day post-enumeration survey kicks off across the country.
Nearly 400 enumerators have begun the post-enumeration survey by the Ghana Statistical Service. The enumerators are back on the field to assess the quality and the content of the 2021 population and housing census. Government statistician Professor Samuel Kobne-Nim says the preliminary results of the 2021 population and housing census will be released in the coming days.
Once they approve of the release calendar, we're going to put it out there. But I'm pretty certain that barring whatever challenges in the month of September, we should be able to put out the preliminary results.
Professor Nim called for support to make the post-enumeration survey a huge success. He says the essence of the exercise is to assure themselves that the 2021 population had quality coverage as well as great content.
This is not an indication suggesting that the data that we collected during the census exercise was not of quality. This is an international requirement that anytime you do a population housing census, it is important you get people to know the level of confidence that you have in the quality of the data. So we are following international procedures, for which reason we are doing the post-enumeration survey.
Chief Technical Advisor of the UNFPA, Dr. Collins Opio, outlines what the post-enumeration survey seeks to add to the 2021 population and housing census.
We are going back to a representative sample of the census households. Those households that we go to, which are just about 1% of all the households in Ghana, we are going to go back to them with just a few questions or basic questions on characteristics that we want to check. But the most important thing that we want to do is we want to go back to those households and ask them questions about the census in terms of how many people were there during the census, to ascertain that everybody in those households during the census were in fact enumerated. So this is really basically what it is to validate the census results.
The enumerators have begun the post-enumeration survey and they are expected to finish the 21-day exercise on the 14th of September. Reporting for Joy News, Richard Kwejenya-Akon, Winneba.
Now, Chief Executive of the Ghana Enterprises Agency, Kosiyanki Aye, is urging the youth and women in the horticulture industry to monetize knowledge and skills acquired. According to her, the horticulture sector is a billion-dollar industry which, when invested in, would benefit the economy. She spoke to Joy Business at the 2021 Ghana Garden and Flower Show.
The Ghana Garden and Flower Show, a flagship event of the Ghana Garden and Flower movement, initiated by Stratcom Africa, is aimed at promoting benefits of gardens and flowers with regard to income generation, job creation, clean and healthy lifestyles, beautification of the country's public spaces and homes, as well as the promotion of environmental conservation among Ghanaians. Chief Executive of Stratcom Africa, Esther Koba, urged the students to see horticulture as a business.
They have a lot of money in their banks, that is, in their books, and in the classes and lessons that they are taking. They have treasure that they need to take seriously. We can only provide the platform to add more. We have people investing in the knowledge that they have, and they don't even have to pay anything for this. So they should take it seriously. With them, we are stressing a wealthier Ghana, which then makes us greener, cleaner, and more beautiful. They hold the key to a lot of wealth in this country, and they should take this seriously.
Meanwhile, Chief Executive of the Ghana Enterprise Agency, Kosiyanki Aye, says her outfit is open to supporting the horticulture industry to build resilience.
Share with them experiences of how they could build resilience, how they can strengthen their ideas, how they take advantage of the opportunity to build and grow stronger in supporting the horticulture and the floriculture sector in Ghana. Across the world, it's a billion-dollar industry, and today what I had to share with them was, how do you turn this into a business? Most often people see it as theoretical when they practice it in school. It's the theoretical part that they have the opportunity to engage with. But at this point, our engagement with them is, how do you turn horticulture, floriculture, the study of agriculture, into a business? And once you turn it into a business, it becomes profitable. It also creates the opportunity for you to turn this into a job making, able to engage more youth, create job opportunities, which would also translate into wealth generation.
All right, and that's Business Live tonight. You can always catch up on all the business news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. Our top stories there, including survey of bank charges. Most banks do not charge fees for ATM cash withdrawal. Also, high fraud cases in the banking sector can't be completely linked to poor service conditions. That's according to John Ewa, who is Chief Executive of the Ghana Association of Bankers. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back same time next week.